What is up, everyone? Welcome to the show. We're back. And let's talk about everything that's been going on this week so far, including getting caught up with Mafia: The Old Country, which continues today, as well as the status of the Death Stranding 2 playthrough, which finally is hitting the end game and may actually conclude this week. Plus, we'll talk a little bit about American Truck Sim updates and more. Today, I'm just going to do a little bit of housekeeping. We have some updates in regards to animations and other things that I'm trying. Then we'll do some Q&A. A more chill atmosphere. No real game news or anything to cover. But let's get caught up. It's a nice chill vibe on today's return episode of the Level 1 Podcast. What is up, everybody? Phil here, and welcome to the show. Today is Tuesday, the 12th of August, 2025. Coming off of a skip day for the podcast yesterday because I am trying to make maximum progress in Death Stranding 2. And the days that I skip the podcast, we purposefully schedule that game so that we can get really far. And the good news is it's working. Yesterday, we saw major strides in the playthrough, and it looks like we may actually beat the game by the end of the week, which would be outstanding. Considering I've been playing the game for so long, I'd like to wrap it up. So how is everyone today? I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the show with our flaming lava light show behind me today. So funny thing, as you all know, I upgraded my setup over the last year. Notably, this light show I added in January, right? I think I bought the lights over the course of December, and I got them all synced and working, and I really like it. I bought my new streaming and capture PC back, I think it was December, and we did the new PC setup stream and all of that, if you remember. This PC had all the bells and whistles, right? It even has all these RGB lights inside. All the fans are RGB. The RAM sticks have RGB. And the CPU cooler is RGB. Except not anymore, because here we are, 7 months into me owning this PC, and it's already malfunctioned. But yesterday, I changed the color scheme. As I was doing so, I noticed something doesn't look right over there. So I changed it to this lava color scheme, and now the light that is on the CPU cooler does not work anymore. Now it just stays blue endlessly. And I was like, what? So I tried configuring it in my RGB program. Doesn't do anything. I actually tried restarting the PC. Doesn't do anything. I physically opened the PC and looked at it, made sure that it was, not loose or anything, tapping it. Oh no, it just decided not to work anymore. It's just blue. So my PC looks like lava except for the light on the CPU cooler, which is blue, and will never change for some bizarre reason. There's no way to change it. In reality, I'm sure there is. I'm sure if I go into the motherboard settings or some bullshit, there's a way to fix that, but I don't really care. I just find it funny that I have all this new equipment. My gaming PC is a year old now. Okay, I got it in the summer of 2024, so about a year old. We've been using it for everything, right? And the capture streaming PC is 6 to 7 months old, and the thing's already malfunctioning. Like, what? That's modern technology for you. But it's a good thing that it's not a functional component that matters. It's just it distracts me. I look over them it's blue. I can't stop staring at it. It's annoying when everything else in my office looks like lava. and that's blue. So here, I'll move my thermos to try to block it so it stops bothering me. Anyway, welcome to the show, everyone. That's neither here nor there. A little late starting the show today because today I set up a couple new animations for contributions. What I've done is I've set up that whenever someone does a super chat of any level, for the record, like any super chat, there is a random chance that you will either see a Sonic the Hedgehog or a Chun-Li animation and sound effect. It's randomized. It's you may get it, you may not. And it actually is for any level of contribution, any level of super chat. There's a chance that you'll see those animations. Now, the other animations are set up permanently, so if it doesn't play one of those, it'll play one of the other ones that we've been seeing all along. So, yeah, I guess we'll see how they work. I've never tried this random animation stuff before. So just as people do super chats today, we'll see if they ever pop up. What's funny is I had screwed it up. Fox did a $2 super chat before I started the podcast today on the stream, and I'd accidentally set up the Sonic animation to be the default. So it played the Sonic animation right away. And I was like, oh, oops. So now it's set to be randomized. So if you have a chance to see it, do any level of super chat. It doesn't even have to be like the 420 super chat where you get a special animation for it. It could be, I think the lowest threshold for a super chat animation is $1. I'm not sure though. I actually don't remember. But yeah, any level. We'll see how they go. I wonder how long it will take before we get to see one, since it is random. It could be that we see it right away or we don't see it for days because it is a random like RNG selection. So I added those this morning, and I'm trying to add a few more. Like I was thinking of adding like maybe 5 randomized super chats to see how they do. And if see people like that or not. The thing is, I can only do it for super chats. I can't do it for tips because tips are manual animations that I have to play because it's not an automated system. But I guess we'll see. Let's see how it goes. And again, trying to always try to do improvements to add things that people like that make this stream see a little bit more special. I don't want it to be stagnant where every day it seems like it's exactly the same. For many, many years, that was my mentality. Oh, I'm coming to work today to play a game on stream. I'm punching the clock, right? I'm getting on stream to play a game or whatever, and that's it. Now I want to have improved things. I want to have, new stuff. And I want people to feel excited when they come to the streams that something might happen that's cool or refreshing or interesting. I mean, we only had the sound effects for, I think, less than a week. So I'm sure there's people who maybe haven't been around for a while, and then they'll come by and all of a sudden an animation plays. They're like, whoa, well, that's new and cool, right? Good stuff. All right. So, welcome everyone to the show. And what I like to do is get everyone caught up with the status of all of my playthroughs. Because as of right now, there's several playthroughs that there's a possibility in the next week I could wrap up. But then the question is, then what do I start? Because we basically don't have any real major new games until the end of the month, the very last week, about 2 weeks from now. Okay? So, let's chat about that, shall we? Cool. All right. We have two super chats to shout out before we begin here. So we've got Fox McFox, who did a $2 super chat and said, huge support to start your day, 1 goal down already. Well, my goal is slightly larger than $2, Fox. But thank you for the $2 super chat and getting us going with contributions today. That is appreciated. And then we just had a £5 super chat from Kylo Ren 26. That is the equivalent of $6.72. I know because yesterday he did one, and I did the conversion. And he says, good evening. I'm looking forward to today's Mafia stream. Yes, this stream right now after this podcast will be the continuation of Mafia: The Old Country. And we're about to start talking about that because it's weird, the reaction to the game, to put it that way, because it's weird. Some people are like, oh, the game's really good. So happy that these game developers are understanding that we want to just get back to games that have great narrative roots. And basically, it doesn't matter that it's not 20, 30, 40 hours long as the time you're playing the game is good. And then others are like, wow, this game is an entire ripoff. I can't believe that they charge $50 for a game that's only like 13 hours long, and it really just feels like a glorified cutscene. So it's weird how gamers' attitudes can like split, especially because back in the day, I feel like when I started on YouTube, a game like Mafia: The Old Country would have been praised widely for its level of graphic fidelity, attention to detail, production value, writing. But today, things have changed. Like, really, it's been the last generation of platforms, meaning consoles like Xbox One, PlayStation 4, where as the capacity to have bigger game worlds increased, every game developer decided, hey, we need to now make a game that has a giant sandbox open world that takes anywhere from a minimum of 20 to upwards of 60 hours to entirely do all the content for. The problem is when you look at those worlds and the games that have come out in the last decade, 15 years, many of them are pretty darn empty, to be honest. Oh, the world is huge, but does the content in the world really matter? I think the way they explain it is as wide as a lake, but as shallow as a puddle, right? Who cares how much content a game has or how big the world is if it's boring content that doesn't have any real meaning? You know, compare a game such as Far Cry, where there's base takeovers, there's towers to climb, there's animals to hunt. Does any of it really matter? Not really. It's just there for gameplay's sake. But then compare that to a game like Witcher 3. Witcher 3 had absolutely amazing side content. It had really meaningful entire quest lines and missions in the open world that you could easily miss because you didn't know they existed. But if you find them, you end up doing multiple missions and all kinds of very fun storylines that normally you wouldn't even know were there. That's cool. Make the world feel real and vibrant and make it feel like it's worth my time to go explore it, right? But now what's happened is we get a game like Mafia: The Old Country. And this game developer, Hangar 13, I think they're at Hangar 13. It might be Hangar 15. I think it's Hangar 13, though. They wanted to go back to gaming's roots and say, listen, over a decade ago, we made games like Mafia 1 and 2, and these games focus solely on the story. Yes, there was an open world, but there wasn't much to do in it, so you wanted to focus on the story. And if you did, you got a fun 15-hour ride, right? Great writing, interesting characters, twists, turns, fun gameplay elements. That worked back then. But today, in 2025, we've had a whole decade of people being trained to expect more. If you're going to spend your hard-earned money on this game, then it better have a huge gameplay loop that takes a long time, and it's an investment now, right? You're not just buying a game for fun. This is an investment of money into which you can sink time, right? It's just so weird how things have changed. It didn't used to be like this at all with video games. It was, hey, I just bought the game, I bring it home, I pop it in, and we have a fun time with it. Great. Now, I'm sitting here measuring and documenting how long I played each aspect of the game and weighed this against this and this. Was this ratio of the game worth this amount that I paid? Like, no one cared about that shit. So I think this has happened as a natural occurrence as things became more prevalent on the internet, as people were able to share their experiences and compare them to those of others, you know, because a lot of the times back in the day, you buy a game, you don't know if it's good or not. Today, every single game has been entirely put on the internet before you can even buy it. The entire campaign of Mafia: The Old Country was on the internet to watch before the game could be purchased. So to some extent, yeah, you know, that kind of has affected things. And now it's hard to even get hyped for a game when everyone has this mentality of trying to spoil it and dumping on it so early. So anyway, my experience with Mafia: The Old Country is I've played it for around 5 hours, and so far, the game is good. Earlier on, okay, in the first 2 hours or so, I would argue it was a slow build because you were just trying to get used to the game and learn its elements and things like that. And that the story was insanely prevalent. It was like, Oh, I want to learn how to play. Oh, but here's a cutscene. Oh, I want to learn how to play. Oh, but here's a cutscene. And then, oh, here's the knife tutorial, but now you're not going to use that again for another hour. But the thing is, the night stream, okay, on Sunday night, when I played it, the game got much better. Basically, you are now becoming part of the mob. You're doing these missions where you have to shake down people for their protection money. You have to protect a VIP who gets kidnapped, and then you have to go after the people who kidnapped him to try to save him. You have to go after this person who has turned on your family and infiltrate him at his own home base, sneaking by with stealth and taking people down, and then, big combat and fighting and sneaking them off and stuff like that. So it gets better. Like, it literally gets better. Within 4 or 5 hours, you start hitting the game's stride and you understand what the game's going to be. And then it's a lot better. But here's the thing that happened. This is what I don't understand. The first stream of the game that I did on Sunday did well. People showed up, good attendance, good engagement, good support. Everything was great. By Sunday night, attendance had dwindled massively. We had half as many people watching on Sunday night than we did during the day stream. And the support completely crumbled. We went from doing over a goal of support on the first stream to $30 on the late stream. It's the same game. It's the same gamer and streamer, and the game got better. What happened? So after talking about this, on Sunday night with the audience and everything, I think what it's come down to is I really shouldn't play a new release all day long on release day unless it really is like an insanely hyped game. Like, for example, if it was like GTA 6, right? Okay, I think people are going to want to see a lot of GTA 6. Or if it was the brand new game from FromSoft, their new IP, or the next installment of, Elden Ring, people probably would want to see that all day long. But I do feel like playing the game all day Sunday was a mistake, which sadly, I hate to say it, if I hadn't done that, I probably wouldn't have gotten a good idea of what the game was, because the game didn't pick up until the late stream. And then, oh, okay, now we're hitting a story stride and we're understanding what it's going to be. If I didn't play it twice, I would have only been doing the intro, and I wouldn't have had a good idea to share with you, and especially that video I did on Sunday night explaining after 5 hours my initial impressions. That video wouldn't have been pertinent. If I just reviewed the first 2 hours, it would have been like just cutscenes, and then no one, everyone would have been like, oh, the game's just cutscenes. Well, it's not. But you have to get through the intro. So it's kind of like a double-edged sword. I did it the way I did. One stream did well, but the second stream tanked because people were tired of this narrative-based game all day long. But if I hadn't done that, then I wouldn't have been able to actually know what the game was. So I don't know. I think moving forward, I might just do one stream of a new game, and then the night stream will be variety. And then the next day, if that new game did well, do a second stream of it as the day stream the next day as well. You do it like that. So I think I may try that out with the next new release that is hyped and we want to get into right away, rather than just doing it for the entire day. Okay? So today we're doing more Mafia: The Old Country right after this stream ends. Well, I should say after this podcast ends. And I hope that you'll stick around for it. It was really, really fun doing it Sunday night. And now I'm being told that actually we are about to head into some major awesome parts of the game. Some great story missions and things are going to happen that really make the game more interesting. We're out of the intro as of today. And I mean, yeah, we better be, because if the game really is only between 10 to 15 hours long, and we're going to be, as of today, 7 to 8 hours in, yeah, I certainly hope that we're out of the intro today. Okay? So, good stuff, right? Good stuff. Thanks for chilling with me here today. And I hope that you guys enjoy the stream and, Mafia continues. Now, if Mafia really is 10 to 15 hours long, likely within maybe another 2 to 3 streams, we will beat it. So if we play it today and we play it on Wednesday as I'm planning, we'll have to reassess after Wednesday's daytime stream. Excuse me, if we play it today, we play it Friday as well. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't know if we're playing it again this week. That's right. Friday is up in the air. We're going to talk about this in a minute. Friday is up in the air, and I'm actually not sure what to do on Friday's stream. So after today, let's see where we are in the game. I'm sure people who've beaten it will be like, hey, you got, this much to do or whatever. And after we figure that out, we'll figure out if we're going to be playing it again this week or not. Because Death Stranding, after yesterday, actually picked up in a big way. And it looks like we may actually beat it this week. Okay? So let's talk about that now. By the way, good morning, Chris. I know you've been saying hello. And everyone else who's here, I didn't say hello to anyone, basically. Good morning, everyone. And hope that you're all in good spirits and enjoying the show. And good stuff. There was a small tip in a super chat. Let's shout those out before we start about Death Stranding 2 here. Let's see. Yeah, I don't even know what this means, so I'm not even shouting it out. Seriously, I love it when people have these obscure references to shit that I don't know what it is, so I'm not going to waste my time. Major Chang did a a £5 super chat, which again is $6.72. Hey, Phil, how do you feel? How about you give us DSP Tries It? I'm going to give you DSP Tries It. We're at 6 out of 10 goals. I didn't bring up contributions yet today, but we are 6 out of 10 goals. All right. And thank you so much for that we are already that far into, this week's support. Really appreciative. DSP Tries It this week is Shake Shack's new hot dog menu. Shake Shack is going to have, well, they have right now, a spicy hot dog, a pickle hot dog, a chili cheese dog, a few different things, okay? So I would like to try all of those. And when we hit 10 goals, it's DSP Tries It Shake Shack. It could be as soon as we hit 10 goals. If we hit a goal a stream, then that means we would be doing it Thursday, because it would mean, 2 goals today, 2 goals tomorrow. And if we hit that on the late stream tomorrow night, then it would be Thursday that we do it after the first gameplay segment. Okay? I guess we'll see. All right, but if we hit more goals than that, then possibly what we can do is do it earlier. But we'll have to see how quickly we can hit our goals. All right. There's the new Sonic animation, by the way, which I hope you guys like. Now, the weird thing is, I set it as randomized, and I hope it is randomized. I hope it's not every single time someone does like a $2 contribution, because that's not what I wanted. I'll have to double check. We'll have to see today. Notice when a Sonic animation plays, or if we see a Chun-Li animation, I want to note the amounts that they happen. It might be that the thing is not working right, and it's going to play it every time there's a contribution lower than $5. I'm not sure. We'll have to see. So anyway, yeah. So, DSP Tries It will happen this week. DSP Tries It Shake Shack. When we hit 10 goals, it will be a formal, official, real episode this time, not the half messed up episode from Friday that didn't really work because I was, drinking and everything. This will be a real DSP Tries It. Formal episode, formal recording, uploaded and everything, which will be good because it's been almost 2 weeks since we did one, right? So let's get it going. Let's hit some goals today. Let's get some support flowing for the stream. And let's hit 10 goals, and let's do Shake Shack. I am down for Shake Shack, all right? Let's go. Okay. Continuing on, we've got, oh, wait, I didn't add that, right? It was $6.72. I didn't add that to the total, did I? Or did I? We did 6, 7, 8. I guess I did. I did add that because we're at 16, right? So I must have added it already. Okay. And then we've got Sonic My Shadow, who did a $10 super chat. That's now the biggest super chat of the day, so let's get that up on the leaderboard. Thank you, Sonic My Shadow. And Sonic says, funny I said Sonic says, but it wasn't the Sonic animation. There's a mission that requires you to drive across the map. You're able to explore for collectibles if you want. After that, you're locked into the story for the next few hours. I think we already did it. I think I know what mission you're talking about, and I think that's one that we did already. The other night on Sunday night. The problem was I wanted to finish one more mission before the night ended. So I was like, oh, let's just drive right to our destination. We actually skipped the drive because it says skip drive. So let's just skip it and do that mission so that we're done for tonight. But I think you're right. I think now I may be stuck doing story missions for several hours because we skipped that opportunity to actually explore the map. So it is what it is, okay? Thank you, Sonic My Shadow. And then Fox McFox did another $2 super chat and said, sorry that you were late and my break is over. No fun for me. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I was setting up these new animations and trying to understand how the randomized thing works because I don't know if it does. If Fox has done two $2 super chats this morning, and each time they did it, it played the Sonic animation. But it doesn't say that the animation is supposed to play every time there's a super chat lower than a certain amount. It says it's supposed to be a random chance. So I don't know if it's working or not. It's the first time I've ever tried to do something like this. I guess we'll have to see. Because the thing is, I want the Chun-Li animation to work, and I also have that set to a random chance. So I don't know if it's going to or not. I guess we'll see again as people super chat today. We may see Chun-Li, we may see Sonic, or we may just see the standard animations. We'll find out. Okay. So Death Stranding 2 yesterday did about a 3.5-hour gameplay chunk of Death Stranding 2 on the first stream. I skipped the podcast in order to do this, and it went really well. Basically, we made like really, really big progress yesterday with Death Stranding 2. We had a boss fight. We had multiple big fights. One against the bandits, brigands, whatever they're called, and another against the ghost mechs. Big ghost mech fight. We had to fight against like big gauntlets of them who were hunting me down and trying to kill me. Big story elements and developments. So basically where we are in the story is the home stretch. We've almost now put the entirety of Australia on the chiral network. There's only like 1 to 2 more bases to do to finish putting Australia on the chiral network. I'm assuming what's going to happen is we'll do that, and then there's going to be a bunch of story, because that's what Kojima typically does, is he post loads his games with end game story. So likely we'll do like 1 to 2 more missions where we're doing a delivery and the chiral network stuff, and then boom, all of a sudden there'll be a million cutscenes. We'll probably get sucked to the other side again and have to do fights against this Neil Vana guy. And then we'll probably have the finale of the game. So what I'm being told from people who've already beaten the game is that as long as I stay on pace and I don't do any more side content, I will likely beat Death Stranding 2 within 4 to 5 hours of gameplay. A typical day's stream for me is around 2.5 to 3 hours of gameplay, depending. So if reports are true, that means if I were to do 2 more streams of Death Stranding 2, we'll beat it. Well, guess what? We have 1 stream of Death Stranding 2 scheduled for tomorrow. Okay? And once again, I'm going to skip the podcast so we can get maximum levels of progress. Okay? If tomorrow we're so close to the end that we can beat it in 1 more stream, then I think that we should just beat it this week. Okay? I think we should wrap it up, and that way it's done with. We can move on to the other summertime projects that we've wanted to focus on, including finally starting up Suikoden 2 HD, which has been, promised to you guys ever since, what was it, March, April, when we played Suikoden 1, and it did really well. So we could start that project, and then we can see what else we want to do. Right now, sadly this week, I'm juggling so much that I'm barely getting to play certain games. Like Donkey Kong Bonanza, I'm only going to play that once this week, okay? GTA 4 with mods, I'm only going to play that once this week. So, I'm barely making any progress at all in the stuff that I'm doing. Oh, by the way, I screwed up. Oh, man. I screwed up the schedule. So, I'm just noticing this now. So, okay, my streams that I have scheduled for today, I have Minecraft later tonight, which was my intention. And then I have tomorrow night, I was going to do Donkey Kong Bonanza. But on the schedule that I put out last night, I think I said that I'm doing Donkey Kong Bonanza tonight and Minecraft on Wednesday. I hope people aren't confused because I definitely screwed that up. Crap. I think I should fix that. Now, I'm just noticing this now live during the show that I goofed this up. And now people are definitely going to be confused about tonight's late stream. No, tonight we are doing Minecraft, and then I wanted to do Donkey Kong tomorrow. Shoot. I really hope we don't get the wrong crowd showing up and people upset. Let me see what I can do here. If I do this, so all I'm doing is I'm posting up an addendum here. It's an updated schedule with the things correct. Tonight is Minecraft. Tomorrow night is Donkey Kong Bonanza. And I will post this, and here we go, pin. There's a stupid, now there's a stupid thing popped up here. That's so dumb. I just want to do it fast, and I can't. Now there's just something wrong with it. I don't care. I'm just ignoring it. I don't give a shit that that's on there. I don't. The cursor was in the wrong spot, and a dumb box popped up or something stupid. I don't give a fuck. Just trying to do this fast, and it's got to be a pain in my ass. Well, too bad. Okay. All right, so the schedule is fixed. All right. So today is Mafia the Old Country right now after we finish the podcast. And then tonight, it is our weekly Minecraft chill stream. And I hope that people will show up for the Minecraft chill stream tonight. I hope so. Because I hope they didn't think that it was Donkey Kong Bonanza because the schedule had a typo. That's really going to suck. Tomorrow will be Death Stranding 2, no podcast. All right. And we'll try to get as far as we possibly can. Hopefully this will set us up for the finale of the game later in the week. And then tomorrow night, Wednesday night, we will do Donkey Kong Bonanza, which, from what I'm to understand, we have to finish up the snake world. We just got the snake ability, which is double jump and free or slow time. Okay. And then after the snake world, there's 4 quick worlds. There's no more abilities to learn. So there's 4 mini quicker worlds, and then it's the finale of the game. And if you might be saying, well, what happened to Bonanza? Why aren't you playing it anymore? It tanked last week. Like, no exaggeration. Last week, people just stopped caring about this game and basically said it was boring as hell. It's too much of the same, which I agree with. I actually feel like Nintendo did not really try with this game. They just tried to do a collectathon that doesn't really have much heart to it because there's nothing different about each level. They're all exactly the same. So, I want to finish it. I've put so much time into it. I'm going to do it tomorrow night as a late stream and see how far we get, okay? Then on Thursday, the daytime stream will be the Battlefield 6 beta, which I told you guys I would play this week. It's an open beta, and I'm curious on PC how it's going to play. I'm going to charge my wireless headphones for it so I can actually have some surround sound and see how it goes, okay? And then if that goes well, I'll do a second stream of it on Sunday. So we'll see. I'm going to be on mouse and keyboard over here. I haven't done any mouse and keyboard gameplay in a long time. So it'll be fun to try to play an FPS on mouse and keyboard and see how it goes. Go from there, okay? So Thursday night is the return of GTA 4 with mods. And the thing is, GTA 4 with mods actually did really, really well when we played it last week. So I know that some people are upset that we're only playing it once this week. If I hadn't done the double stream of Mafia on Sunday, it was my intention to play GTA 4 twice this week, but things aligned as they did. Next week, we should be doing GTA 4 at least twice on the late streams to get good advancement, okay? And then on Friday, I'm going to try to finish Death Stranding on the first stream. And if we do, good. I would be stoked to finish Death Stranding and say we finally got this one done, see the ending. Everyone says that the story and the ending is amazing, that you've got to see this game through because the ending is so insanely good. You're really missing out if you don't finish it. So I can't wait to see how it ends on Friday. And then Friday night, on the correct night, will be Friday Night Fights, Capcom versus SNK 2, which obviously I'm excited for. Hopefully the usual crowd who would come by on a Friday night will be there, and people will come by and support as I continue to rank up in Capcom versus SNK 2. However, I want to play it on PC, but last time when I tried to play it, there was no one playing it. So I had to switch to PS5, and then I did get some comp, but it sucks that the game seems to already be dead on PC. Like, damn, really? All these years I didn't have a gaming PC, I was told the best way to play fighting games is on PC. Now that I have the gaming PC, people tell me, oh, the best way to play is on PS5. Funny how that works. That I finally get the thing everyone says I needed, and I get it, and now people are like, oh, it's, you're doing the wrong thing. Okay. Anyway. All right. So that's what's going on. Next week, we very well could be starting up a new playthrough. We could be shifting and shuffling the schedule around a bit so that we can have more games on day streams versus night streams. I guess we'll see. Okay. And keep in mind, there are no real high profile new games until the end of the month. You actually take a look at the game release schedule for this month. Okay. Gears of War Reloaded comes out August 26th. Metal Gear Delta Snake Eater comes out August 28th. And on Friday, August 29th is my next marathon, the Mega Man Marathon 3. Because you guys showed up, engaged, and supported the Mega Man Marathon 2 so well, we're going to do a second marathon this month on Friday, August 29th. And it's going to be me beating Mega Man 6, which we're halfway through. I've beaten the 8 Robot Masters, but now we have to go through all the boss stages and all of that. And then it's going to be Mega Man 7 and 8, which I've never played. Not once have I done Mega Man 7 or 8 at all. So I don't even know what they're like. I know that I think 7 was an SNES game and 8 was a PS1 game. So they're going to look dramatically different than the other Mega Man games that we played up to this point, So it should be fun. It's good. I mean, this last marathon was really fun. To actually be playing these games genuinely for the first time would be even more fun. So that's coming up at the end of the month, just so everybody knows. So we're going to have roughly 2 weeks through this week and then next week where we can focus on just finishing up the stuff we're working on. We can finish Death Stranding 2. We can play on, focus, and finish Mafia. We can do a couple streams of the Battlefield 6 beta. We got a good amount of time to do that stuff before we start saying, okay, what's new? And then what's new? Probably Suikoden 2. Maybe we'll do something else. Maybe we'll shuffle the streams around so we can finish up GTA 4. We'll see. Okay? Cool. All right, so we know the schedule for the week. We know what's going on with DSP Tries It. I've pretty much covered the topics that I wanted to cover for today. I will now turn it over to the audience. All right? What would you guys like to talk about today? Tag me in the chat. Here, I'll type into the Kick chat so you guys can do it. Tag me in the chat. Let's see what you guys want to chat about. We'll do a little bit of Q&A. And when we get bored or run out of topics, then we will jump back into Mafia the Old Country. Yes, Itzy, I played Helldivers 2. Was it early last year? I think it was right at the beginning of last year. I played it for about a month, on and off. I really enjoyed it. I played it enough to get to the meta, which was the certain kind of airstrikes, using the certain weapons or whatever. And basically what ended up happening was, I got to a point where there wasn't really anything notable unlocking anymore. Like, I got into a gameplay loop where it was just play for the sake of playing rather than play for the sake of better unlocks. And it got really boring. And I feel like that's when, if you have a group of friends or a team who you're always playing with, then the game feels better because you feel like you're working towards a greater goal. But being that I was playing it solo, I just didn't feel like there was any reason to continue playing. I was just really bored with it. And again, that has nothing to do with the game being bad. The game has a huge audience, and that audience is just not me. Like, for me, I'll play it to a certain level, and then I'm kind of like, all right, I've kind of seen everything that I want to see or whatever. While others might play it more and get more out of it, but I won't, So there you go. Cydia says, why did you have to go check for noise in your house? Couldn't you just check all the monitors linked to the 56 cameras on your property? Exactly. Since apparently it's well documented that I have a crazy network of security cameras throughout my entire home, and apparently all outside the home too, right? That totally wasn't completely fabricated by a bunch of lying fuckwits, right? Why didn't I just go check that instead, and then I didn't even have to get up? I have that all hot wired. I'm screwing my shirt up worse. I have all that hot wired right here to my phone. I just open an app and it has 17 cameras on hand at any given moment, right? What? Does it bother me the inside of my collared shirt shows? No. No, I just wanted my shirt to be even, and it's not. As you can see, like, one side's like higher than the other, and I'm trying to make it even. It's not working. Unless I ironed my shirts my shirts are never going to be perfect, and I'm not going to sit around for hours ironing my fucking shirts. So they're just never going to be. I'm not that serious about it. It's never going to be that good, you know. Would I say I care about my real fans on an emotional level? What I would say is for those who are, longtime fans and viewers and supporters, I care about your well-being and I like hanging out with you. As I explained last night on the American Truck Sim stream, I don't try to present my streams as anything that they're not. Like I want people to know that I can't be close personal friends with my viewers. It's never going to happen. I'm one person. You guys are many, hundreds on a stream, thousands overall watching what I do. There's no way that I can all be your friends. You understand? But we could definitely have this relationship where we hang out, we have fun, we have great conversation. You add to the experience of what we're doing on the streams on a daily basis, I really appreciate that. So yeah, I do. Like if right now, if I were to hear that someone who is a longtime viewer and fan is in a really bad way and having a bad time, I actually would make me feel awful, and I would feel bad for that person and hope that things get better for them. I don't just see my fans and viewers as wallets that open every time I turn on a stream, and then as soon as I'm off stream, I don't care. That's not the case at all, you know? Ha! Killdozer says, I'm thinking about opening a 401k soon, but I'm worried I'll want to use the money before I retire. Any advice? Yeah, don't worry, because if you have a 401k and you put money in it, you'll never want to take it out, because if you do, the government destroys you and takes an insane large chunk of it. I know, because ages ago I had one. When I had my office job, there was a 401k and I put money into it for a few years there. And then later on, I was strapped for cash and I needed the money desperately. And I said, oh, well, I have all this money sitting in the 401k. I'll take it out. I'm not kidding. They take like more than a third. I don't think it was half, but it was like more than a third. So, you think you have this giant nest egg and then you need it desperately because something happens. The government's like, ha ha ha, we take all your money. Like, what the fuck? Like, what is that? So anyway, I live in the United States, Killdozer. I think you do too, right? That's a thing here. I don't know how it is in other countries, but they just destroyed me. And the thing is, I absolutely needed the money. Like I needed it. I had no money. So I had to take it all out and I just lost a ton of cash. What is a 401k? A 401k is a retirement investment account where you invest money into it every year, and that money gets invested in other things, stocks, bonds, and things to try to make you money. And the idea is that this money will grow in value every year. So when you retire, you have a nest egg that you can draw upon so you don't have to work anymore when you're old. That's the idea behind a 401k. Doesn't exactly work that way all the time, but that's the idea behind it. Do I recommend other kinds of investment accounts? I don't know, Killdozer, but I'll say this. The one thing that people keep trying to get me into is Bitcoin, and I'm sorry, I just don't want to touch Bitcoin. I feel like Bitcoin and just any kind of cryptocurrency, I feel like it's too volatile of a market, and the fact that for so long it's been increasing in value just makes me feel like at some point we're headed for a disaster, like crypto's going to crash. And then all these people who put everything they have in it are going to lose everything. So I don't know. Maybe I'm just paranoid and maybe I'm just stupid and ignorant. But for like, I'm not even kidding, like 7-8 years, people have been saying, put money into crypto. That's going to save you. That's going to kick you. You're going to be doing amazing. But I just don't see how it could possibly keep going that way. Like everything crashes eventually. So I don't know. But yeah, no, I don't. I'm not Mr. Investment here. I'm certainly not doing a finance stream, so I can help you there. Am I going to play Mega Man 11? Asked Mildcat. Well, the thing is, Mildcat, I just did Mega Man 4, 5, and half a 6. When I play Mega Man Marathon 3 at the end of August, my plan is to finish 6 and then maybe 7 and 8. Now, there's still 9, 10, and 11, right? I've played 11. Wasn't that a new one and I played it? But what I'm thinking is maybe if this next marathon does well, somewhere down the line, we will do another Mega Man marathon where we'll finish up all the classic Mega Mans. But that won't be anytime soon. That will give it after doing 2 Mega Man marathons in 1 month, there's no way we're going to do another one right away. We definitely give it some time. So, do I have a PS4 hooked up right now? No, I do not. Why not accept crypto as contributions? There's 2 major reasons I don't accept crypto. Reason number 1, it is volatile. Crypto goes up and down, up and down. Some crypto has completely crashed, while others are worth a lot. But the thing is, by accepting the crypto, you're exposing yourself to that volatility. The dollar isn't going to tank and be worth nothing. So if people tip me in dollars, I'm good. If you tip me in cryptocurrency, it could be worth nothing in a week. That's number 1. Number 2, the way it was explained to me, and I don't know, I could be wrong, is that the way that cryptocurrency is getting taxed in the United States is also volatile. And so you could make a good amount and pay one amount of tax, but then it changes with other things. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's the amount you get, the type you get, if there's like thresholds where tax kicks in higher or lower. I don't know. I'm not a tax guy, right? That's what a tax attorney is for. But from what I'm to understand, it's not easy to figure out, and you basically by me doing cryptocurrency, it would just open me up to more risk than I want to be opened up to. Okay, I've already had many tax issues in my past, not paying the taxes properly, not calculating it properly because my old tax attorney was an idiot who didn't do it right. Okay, and I just don't want to open myself up to more risk. You know what I mean? Like right now, just think about this. Right now, I get YouTube contributions via super chats and memberships. On Kick, I have subs. I have a Patreon where you can pledge, and I have PayPal tips. I have so many ways. Oh, by the way, I have a merchandise shop, which I never talk about, but I do have a merchandise store, darksidephil.shop, where you can buy Darkside Phil merch. So there's a ridiculous amount of ways, if you like my content, that you can support it. Do I really need another? Do I need crypto on top of all of that? I don't think so. And all the things that I'm receiving right now as support, I know how to qualify it as income. I know how it's taxed. I know how it all works. You see? So I don't really want to mess with it. And maybe it's a big mistake. Maybe it is. Maybe I'm being too conservative and I'm being too nervous about stuff. But I'd much rather be conservative and safe and have what I have than make a big mistake and then end up with nothing. Do you know what I'm saying? To accept all these contributions via cryptocurrency, pay a bunch of taxes on them, and then it crashes and it's worth nothing. That could happen. So I think that's what a lot of people don't realize. Like, let's say I just said right now I'm going to accept crypto. And all of a sudden I get like $10,000 in cryptocurrency and I don't spend it. I just leave it there. Then I have to pay taxes on $10,000, but then the crypto crashes and then it ends up only being worth $1,000. So then I end up paying more tax than what I actually have value in the crypto. Do you see what I'm saying? There's big risk there. And I know that in general, it just keeps going up, but I feel like the bubble's going to burst and then everyone's going to get screwed. And I don't want to be one of the people that get screwed. Yes, I literally pay taxes on everything. I literally pay taxes on every contribution that I receive. I pay tax on everything. I know because some people are like, but isn't that a donation or isn't that a tip? So that, no, I pay taxes on every super chat, every membership, every sub, every tip, every Patreon pledge, every shirt purchased. I pay taxes on every piece of income I have. Then no one can say, you didn't pay the taxes. No, I did. So lay off. So anyway, That's why I don't mess with crypto right now. I don't really see, I don't want to open Pandora's box for myself. Lord knows I've had enough problems going on. That would be interesting. So someone is proposing, should someone set up a service for content creators to set up retirement accounts? Because for example, when I was just talking about that 401k that I had, that was through my former employer. They said, "Hey, would you like us to automatically take a certain amount of money out of your paycheck every month, and this company will invest it in a 401k for you?" I didn't do the work, they did. And then I had this investment basically. I mean, the thing is, it exists. It exists right now. You just have to do it yourself. Like, I would have to find a company who does 401ks and say, "Hey, I will send you a certain amount of money every month. You invest it, and then let me know how you're doing with the investments. And this is my 401k or whatever." You don't have to do it through an employer. The advantage of doing it through an employer is a lot of employers will match contributions or give a percent. Like with my former employer, if I invested, I don't know, let's say $2,000 a year into this 401k, they matched a certain percentage of it. So they were basically investing in my retirement with me. You see, that was the advantage. Doing it yourself, no one's going to match your freaking investment, you know? That would be interesting if someone actually set it up and then a whole bunch of content creators were like, "Well, we don't want to do it ourselves. You do it and we'll pay you like a premium fee to do it." So let's say you're a streamer and you're making good money and you want to invest $5,000 a year into your 401k, but then the company makes like $500. So you actually pay 5,500, but they're making $500 a year. And then that company has a whole bunch of clients, right? They make a ton of money. Ugh. So some people are saying to me, sorry about the yawn. Some people are saying to me that my fears about Bitcoin are unwarranted. You don't get taxed until you actually withdraw from Bitcoin, or I should say crypto, not just Bitcoin, but crypto itself. So essentially what you're saying is someone could give me $10,000 in crypto, and as long as I don't withdraw it, I never get taxed on it. Okay. I'm gonna type in kick chat again so people can tag me again, because no one's tagging me, so I'm not paying attention to the messages. I'm trying to figure this out. Yeah, I know. Boogie supposedly, if the story is true, lost all of his money that he ever made on YouTube investing in crypto. Bad investments. So that's what I mean. Like, I feel like if I ever were to invest in cryptocurrency, it would have to be extra money that I want to invest. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is okay if I lose it. Kind of like the same attitude you do going into gambling, going into a casino. This is the budget that I made for today's casino visit. So it's okay if I lose it all, but that's all I'm going to spend. Right? Exactly. That had to have been his fault, because how do you invest so much money in crypto that if you lose it, you have no money left? Like, what are you doing? That's what I would do. I would treat it as, listen, this is an investment that could either be increased or it could be lost. And if you lose it, not a huge deal, but it would hurt, but it's not like the end of everything. Like, what on earth would possess you to invest all of your remaining money into crypto? That's that's insane. Which of my merch is the most comfortable? I would say the hoodie, because I have a hoodie that's really comfy. And the t-shirts are actually very soft. They're the better t-shirt material. It's not that more heavy, coarse material. It's a more stretchy, fitted material. It feels the t-shirts are really good. Oh, Killdozer, stop that. He goes, "Oh, well, I would support you if you had crypto donos." So here's what you do. You withdraw your crypto to make it dollars and send me the dollars. Oh, wait, but then you have to pay tax on it. So what it is you want to invest, you want to support, but you don't want to pay tax dollars on the crypto that you have. Now I see what people are getting at. Now that we've had this discussion today, now I'm starting to understand, right? People want to have financial value, but they don't want to pay tax on it. So the crypto is the way that you have this. It's like having money in the bank, but it's not in the bank. So the government can't touch it yet. Now I'm starting to get it, see? Well, just for the public record, no, I'm still not doing anything with crypto as of yet, but got it. I may have no choice if I end up getting a stake deal. Who on earth is thinking that I'm going to get a stake deal? I've never been contacted whatsoever by anyone, anything like that. I'm never going to get a stake deal. It's not going to happen. I don't even have the viewership to even fathom getting a stake deal. How many viewers do I have on Kick right now? Let's find out. Ready? I have 102 viewers on Kick right now. No one who only has 100 viewers daily on Kick is getting a stake deal. You understand? if I brought all of my viewers over to Kick, all right? If I stopped streaming on YouTube and I went to Kick exclusively, and then I was having maybe like 300, 400 viewers a stream, maybe then they would consider it. There's no way with 100 viewers I'm getting a stake deal. That's insanity. That's just insanely wishful thinking. They're never going to look at me for that. Most Tasteless has resubscribed automatically over on Kick, and that does count. That is a formal resub. So that's our first Kick support of the day. You know, I'm slacking today. I'm having too much meaningful conversation with all of you. Seriously. What's going on with me? I need to start begging immediately. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get some support for the stream. Right now did you know we have no tips today? 0. No tips at all. Did you know that's the only sub that we got today is an auto resub? What is happening right now? Let's get some support for the stream. Let's get some super chats and see these new animations and hear these new sound effects. Let's get some members. Who wants to become a member today? Let's get our first tip of the day and get an animation playing. And for goodness sakes, for the love of everything holy, let's get some subs on Kick. Come on. Let's go. Light of the Lord Icons just became a member, and that's a new membership. Thank you, Light of the Lord Icons. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. That's a $3. That counts for 3 buckaroonies. Thank you, Light of the Lord Icons. Appreciate that. Here we go. Dark Ethan just did a $15 super chat Canadian. So let's see what that is American, because I always forget. I think it's around $10 American, I believe. Oops, it was 15. It is $10.89 American. Thank you very much, Dark Ethan. Let's get that up on the leaderboard. So actually, that's the biggest super chat, 1083. Cool. So now we're up to $46 of support this morning. Thank you so very much, everybody. Almost a third of the way to the goal before we even started the game. That's a great start. Let's keep that momentum rolling. Let's get to 50 right now. We're 4 away. Who's going to drop $4? So a $4 tip. Someone do a 420 tip so we can get the cultural appropriated animation. Let's do that. Someone do a 420 tip right now. Or how about one actual sub on Kick, not a resub? Squidward SquarePants, I did not see your ideas. I did not. I'm sorry. If you repost it, I'll take a look at it. I missed it. Greg asked if I could have changed one element of Witcher 3 to make it perfect, what would it have been? The combat. I legit didn't like the combat of Witcher 3. I thought that it was kind of button mashy, and it had all these extra abilities like potions and shit that didn't really matter. They didn't really enhance the combat, and they weren't really necessary. I never used them. It was just a bunch of kind of mash, magic, dodge away, drink a potion, mash, magic, dodge away. I didn't really like it that much. I thought the entire world building was amazing. The plot, the missions, all that, characters, graphics. The one thing I didn't like was the combat. I'm not a fan of motorsports. No, I am not. Can I unban Icy Bob? Well, I can, but then he has to promise to not be a shitbag to me because he was actually outright insulting me and saying fucked up stuff. So I was like, this guy basically thinks that he's immune because he contributed before. He's not. So I banned his dumb ass. So if he comes back and he acts like a dickhead again, I'm going to treat him like the dickhead he is. Can I tell you where I got this shirt from? This shirt right here, I got it from a clothing store. I went to a store that sells clothing, and I purchased this with my income. I spent money and I purchased the store. Point of sale transaction. Make a gambling stream. Use the money raised to gamble in stake pinkleball. What the hell is pinkleball? Pinkleball? That's a real thing? Would I consider doing Mario Kart races with Kick subs and YouTube members? No. I'm not playing Mario Kart again. I'm done with it. I did everything I wanted to do in it. I beat my detractors. I won the online circuits. I'm done with it. We are done. Put a fork in it. The only time I would consider continuing is if there's a DLC that adds a bunch of new content that I want to see, then I would maybe play it again. Outside of that, I'm done playing Mario Kart. We're done with it. Again, I'm going to say we're done with it. 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 Gee, I wonder, will Phil play more Mario Kart? No, I'm done with it. Who was my favorite character when I was playing Mario Kart? Oh, man. There's a few there I was doing good with. Who was the one who I kept winning with overall? I forget who it was. I've totally forgotten. I forget, it was a weirdo character. At the beginning, I was doing well with the sidestepping crab. He was doing good. And then after that, there was another character near the end that I kept winning with, but I can't remember who it was. Well, Yoshi overall is my favorite Mario Kart character and probably always will be, but that wasn't the character I was doing best with. So what, should I unban Icy Bob? Because if I unban, I mean, he was literally being an ass bag to me. He was just saying fucked up stuff. So maybe if I unban him, then I have to publicly lambaste him for a while. And be like, like I did with Buckwell. There you go. A second chance would be nice. People are saying I should give Icy Bob a second chance. Let's see. All right, I'll say unban Icy Bob 90. And no, I changed my mind. I'm not going to do it. He can just sit there and stew. Okay, I'll unban him. Would I do a TMNT marathon of old school TMNT games? Original Grant, to some extent I did that years ago. There was a TMNT collection that came out, and it had the original Ninja Turtles on NES, Ninja Turtles Arcade for NES, but I think it might have also had the real arcade. And then it had Turtles in Time, it had Manhattan Project, and it had the fighting games. And actually, I played most of that. I had a marathon where I played a ton of that all in like one game, and I even ordered pizza. And I had pizza during the marathon. It did good. It was fun. It was a fun event. But no one ever asked me to like go back and play them again. And it sucks. I was like, I'd be down for that, to go back and like maybe play Ninja Turtles, Nintendo, the whole way through. But didn't really catch on enough that people wanted that. PGG is here. He says, can I get a second chance? I haven't been banned. It'd be nice to get out of jail. No, here's what we'll do, PGG. So here, I'll ban you now. Okay, so I just banned PTG is here, and now I'll unban them. Now I unban PTGs here. So you got your second chance. There you go. Amazing. Would I say my computer is already outdated? Yes. Much like a car that you drive off the lot and insanely loses value, the PC, once you have a PC for just a few months, it's already outdated. Like already there's a brand new graphics card. There's probably much better processor. Like the thing is, for what I'm going to understand, my PC, my gaming PC particularly, is probably going to last me 3 to 4 years before it actually starts to feel outdated. So 1 year down, probably 3 more years, and then it's going to be like, all right, now to play stuff at higher end, I'm probably going to have to either upgrade components or get a new one. And that's just something that I think I'm going to have to suffer with being a PC gamer is every, 4+ years, you got to get a new one or upgrade it, right? My capture streaming PC, I don't know how that's going to go. Already, I mean, this thing has given me problems since I got it. It's the port's not working, malfunctioning, wireless, malfunctioning, capture device, which I don't even think is the device's fault. I think it's the PC's fault. Now I've got the CPU cooler's RGB light has malfunctioned and it's fucking blue, while the entire lights on all my setup are looking like lava red and orange. It's blue. It's bothering me, and I want to go punch it, because back in the day, that's how I fixed stuff. I would hit them, but I know that's not going to fix my PC, so I'm not going to punch it. I did actually go in there last night, and I just made sure it wasn't loose, and it's working because it has power to it, so it's working. But it's frustrating to me that this light has malfunctioned like this. Like, what the hell is going on? I know there's the newest video card is what, 5090? Oh my God. How did I just get a 4070? Do I have a 4070 over there? I don't know. One of them has like the special edition, that's the higher end, and one of them has like the standard graphics card. I don't know. Here, it's in the chat right now, actually. If I type PC, I'll get my specs. Because I have the command set up. Here it is. Here's the stats to it. Here we go. So my gaming PC has the GeForce RTX 4070 Ti Super. The capture streaming PC just has the regular RTX 4070 Super, not the Ti. So, and now they have a 5090. Dude, it's a year. They have a 5090. They jumped 1,020 numbers in a year. That is absolutely ridiculous. And I'm very upset. To be honest with all of you, I'm very upset. All right, are we seriously not going to get our first tip of the day? We can't get a single tip before I start with gameplay? We can't get a single real sub before we start with gameplay? I'm just going to have to start begging harder, because this is ridiculous. Don't you guys like my content? I thought you did. That's what you're here for. So then you should support it. We should get me to $50 before we start with the gameplay. Maybe I'll just get distracted and forget how to boot the game. If we don't get I don't know, like, for me, this PC is a year old now. My gaming PC is officially a year old. Everything runs at 480, at 4K resolution. Everything runs high frame rate, minimum 60, sometimes 120 frames. I don't know why I would need anything more powerful. If I can run every game at a high frame rate and high resolution, why would I need a more powerful card? What does it do? The only thing I can think is if you actually want your PC to be like a crazy multitasking PC, where you want to be able to play the game, capture the game, and stream the game all at once, maybe then you need an insane beast graphics card. But I have my gaming PC over here, my capture streaming PC over here, and it does the same thing. So why do I need that? Really? Graphics cards won't multitask? Are you serious? Well, then fuck it. What do you need it for? I really don't understand it. Stop begging, dick bag? No. You can accept the ban, and now I'm going to beg even harder because you complain. That's how it works. When you act offensively against me, I will give you more of what you don't want, because that's what you truly deserve. So now it's time for more. Let's get more. Come on. I'm serious. Let's get our first tip of the day. Let's get a single sub on Kit. And then we'll get back to the mafioso, the family values. Really? Wrigley says DLSS is used in a lot of games to run it at a lower resolution, but it upscales. But to run it at a more native resolution, it takes a lot more power. But what's the difference? If it looks exactly the same, then why do you need to run it natively? Why not just use the DLSS technology? I'm confused. If it does exactly the same thing, then why does it matter? What does your knowledge of knowing that it's running natively instead of upscaled? What does that benefit you? I don't get it. Cyber Elk did a €5 super chat. He says, I'm lucky I got an RTX 4090 used for $1,984. If I wanted to get it new, it would have been $3,361 in Europe. Well, that's insane. So that's $5.84. I wanted to see if it was 5 or 6 that I would be counting here. Okay. Thank you, Cyber Elk. Well, that got us to $50, which is what I was aiming for. But still, we don't have a single tip or a member. And I'm still very upset. But that's okay, because at least we're a third of a goal. All right, everybody. No, we're not doing Paper Mario and the 1,000-Year Door as of yet. Like I said, the next RPG playthrough we have to do is Suikoden 2 HD. We may start that as early as next week. Since now we're heading middle of August, we're going to start wrapping up playthroughs like Death Stranding 2. Mafia is going to be a short one. I think we're going to start it up. So I think what I'm going to do, let's just say this, and I'll start talking about it more often. Formally, I want everyone to know Suikoden 2 will be the next major playthrough we're doing. So everyone who was around for Suikoden 1 and enjoyed that playthrough and engaged and supported and made it a well-supported and well-performing playthrough, I hope you will return for Suikoden 2, because that was the agreement, is that if you did that, we're going to play it over the summer, okay? So that's going to be starting likely next week. Cool? Cool. Thank you, everyone, for a great podcast and chill vibes today. Reminder, there is no podcast tomorrow, because once again, the formal daytime stream will be Death Stranding 2 as I attempt to make major progress in the game. So, if you want to see more podcasting, I hope you'll come back Thursday morning, where we will get caught up yet again. Thank you very much, everyone, and I will see you on Thursday. Peace out.